What's up, guys? Chad with ecovapors.com, and today I'm here to show you how to rebuild the Kanger Subtank coils. Not the RDA, mind you, but the actual Subtank coils. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why would I want to rebuild those whenever I can just go buy the coil? Well, fun fact, the RDA part of the Subtank has very small siphoning holes, and so for the liquid to get to the coil, it needs to be thinner liquid. And me, as well as a lot of other people who enjoy dripping, we really like high VG liquid. And so if you rebuild the Kanger coils, you can also hold more liquid, but they have 3mm siphoning holes. And so you can get a lot more liquid to the coil without getting dry hits. And so that's what I did, and that's why I decided to rebuild it. It turned out great. So I made a video for y'all to check out. So yeah, let's get started. I have the Kanger Subtank here, or Subtank, and today we're going to be using the stock coil inside of the tank. Right here. And I'm going to show you how to rebuild this in a rather easy, simple manner. And the reason we're going to rebuild this is because I don't like how the RDA base works. This is the RDA base. Which screws into here, real simple like. Now this is my issue with the RDA base. Let me get my little pointer stick here. These small holes here and here is for the wicking system. So if I can get this off and maybe show you. And so you can see there and there. And so when you build your coil, you put your cotton around here and it grabs the liquid and brings it up. So on and so forth. But I prefer using max VG, or a very high ratio of PG juice. And so the issue I have is on the 3 coils that I've built on this I get a lot of dry hits, and it just does not wick the cotton fast enough. And so what I did was I decided, well, this coil has 3mm hole here and a 3mm hole here. And so if you build a coil inside of here and then run it on your base, first of all, it allows your tank to have more juice in it than it does with the RDA base on there. And second of all, you can feed a lot of juice through it. And so I've not got a dry hit on mine since I switched to this. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to build. Real easy, cool, basic stuff. So these are the tools I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using scissors, organic cotton, resistance tester, tweezers, flush cutters, pliers. And I'm going to be wrapping my coil around a 2mm screwdriver. I'm going to be wrapping my coil around a 2mm screwdriver. And also 26 gauge Kanthal. Okay, so first things first is we need to take the top cap off of the coil that line is, and that way it gives us a little bit more room. Now on this first coil, or this coil I'm going to build here, I've already built it and I put a dual coil in it because I don't really care for single coils. But today I'm just going to build a single coil. So screw it into the base, take a pair of pliers, grip it, kind of just wiggle it off. Like such. Don't lose your cap because it will flood immensely, profusely if you lose that cap. So here's my little dual coil setup I built in there. And there you go. Alright. Next, take it off the base to the side. take your nails, just grab this little silver contact. Don't lose it. Put it over there with your cap. Now you can use pliers, tweezers, fingers. You want to pull out this rubber grommet, like such. Put it to the side, and now the coil is exposed. Now with my 2mm screwdriver, you can see it fits the hole nicely. Obviously I can go up a little bit, but we're just going to use a 2mm. So we're going to wrap our coil around this. So I'm going to cut about a foot of wire, and then I'm going to wrap it. And however big you want the coil is how many times you want to wrap it. I mean, build it to your own specifications. I think for this coil I'm going to do 6 wraps. See where I'm at here? Okay, let's go 8 wraps. Make your tails nice and straight. Also, when you're building a Kanger coil for the sub-ohm or even a regular Kanger, you're going to want to make sure your leads are long enough that you can get all the way through and have a little play to work with them. Compress your coil. And now it's up to you. Either you can burn it for 10 seconds, or you can build it and then put it in the mod and burn it for 10 seconds. Alright, that coil there is done. Okay, so now that we have our coil ready, you want to make sure it's cooled down, and so you don't burn your fingers. Mine got a little goofed. And you want to take it off the screwdriver, and then we're going to drop it inside the coil. Put both strands through, bring it down around the same, around to the hole, and then we're going to poke the screwdriver in one hole through the coil, through the other hole, like that. Okay. And then we're going to, on the bottom cables, you're going to want one of the wires on the outside and one of the wires on the inside. And so this is where flush cutters come in handy, or fingernail clippers also come in handy. But you're going to want to cut this wire here rather close, like such. You might not even be able to see it, but it's still there. And then on the insulator, we're going to put it through the center and make sure you grab, it's covering the other wire basically. Kind of squish it in there. The best thing on these here is just don't overthink it, And so that's sitting nice, the wire's right there. Now we're going to bend this wire over slightly, and we're going to cut it just with a little tail. Then we're going to take the silver pin, put back in the center. Now right there you can see I kind of goofed. See that little pin there? Whenever I put this back in the base, it's going to snag on the threads. And so I can take my wire cutters and kind of trim it up, and that way it does not snag. And our coil there is still nice and steady, nice and stable. So now we're going to put it in the base, and we're going to put it on the meter, find out what she reads. .69. 0.65. And so that'll probably go down a little bit after we compress it a little bit more and straighten it up. So alright, let's move to the next step. Alright, so next step is to put the coil in the tank, which we did, and then put it on the mod and fire it. If you have to, you can tweeze it some more, make it nice and clean. Now we move on to the wicking. Got our tank. Take your screwdriver, try to line the coil up best you can. Sometimes if you use a smaller one, it's easier. So you can see that we're clear there. Now you're going to take your organic cotton, you're going to pinch off a little bit, twist it up. You just want to get it right through the hole. And normally, if you can get it that far, then you're good to go. Grab your tweezers, just pinch it. And you're going to kind of want to tie it too. You're not going to want like a real loose wick. Now she's wicked. Take your scissors. Snip. Snip. And now we're going to poke this in a little bit. And there she is. Now before we put our top cap back on, we're going to go ahead and prime it with some juice. And this here is Eco Reserve, made by Eco Vapors. Max VG, 3 milligram. You're just going to kind of drip it on there a little bit. Not too much because you don't want it flooded, but you still want it to be kind of saturated because you do not want to get a dry hit or set it on fire. That's pretty good. And now we're going to fill the tank. Okay, fun tip number 1. Make sure you have this top cap back on or else it will flood. Number 2, this O-ring here will sometimes come off whenever you're cleaning it. Of course now it's not, but okay. The O-ring is flat on one side and rounded on the other, and so you want the flat side to go down and the rounded side to go up. I made a mistake of putting on opposite and it leaked all over me. Put it back together. Turn it over, and you're going to want to let it set for just about 30 seconds before you vape it. Alright, I'm back. On a second note, I highly recommend this tank. I've had every Kanger tank since the first Pro tank, including the Uni tank. Thanks, Kanger. And this here is my favorite tank because it's so versatile. You can run a Kanger dual coil, you can run the stock sub-ohm coils, or you can run an RDA. And so really for anybody who likes vaping, if you get this tank, then you have, you can appease the masses, I guess you could say, because everybody will find something they like about this tank. I obviously like a big, huge air draw, whereas some people might like a real stiff draw, and it also has that feature on it. I don't really want to get into reviewing the tank because there's hundreds of reviews out there. I just wanted to show you how to rebuild the coil. Also, I'm going to be doing a follow-up video where I will rebuild the coil yet again, doing a dual coil, and then also I'll have a video on how to just rebuild the coil on the RDA, which I don't really like because it's so small, it's kind of hard to build. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out more videos from us at ecovapors.com. Thanks.